Big thanks to Hiya Toys for sending out the monkey. You can check them out and links to buy in the description. Check them soon. These sell pretty quick. Monkey, 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 and more. It's Steven's Monkey Reviews. Hey there, collectors, it's Steven here, and welcome to another Godzilla vs. Kong review, where today we're going to be taking a look at the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Kong figure. They did a stylist figure before, which is going to be more so a fixed figure, a statue, if you will, where Kong was in an excited jumping pose with his axe getting ready to slam down on assumingly Godzilla, because he was the other stylist figure. But today we have an action figure of Kong. Previously, Godzilla was released and covered on the channel. You're going to want to check that review out. And Godzilla was released to really high praise in the community. A lot of folks really like that figure, and it's effectively sold out pretty much everywhere. Everywhere you're going to look, it's basically hit the aftermarket price now, and has gone so much as to say as double, tripled, even some places quadrupled on the aftermarket. So now, Kong is still readily available at the time of review and upload, and folks are wondering if Kong is going to be just as good, or if not better, than Godzilla. Considering the precedent we have set so far for Hiya's Godzilla action figures, is this one going to be worth jumping on right now, or is a deal even feasible? Let's take a look to see whether or not this monkey is going to be worth adding into your collection. It's safe to say that it doesn't really matter which company it is, Kong is difficult to grasp in physical form. Obviously, in the movie, he was a CGI model. He was a render created by a team of artists with the concept work created by somebody. But when it comes to physical form, we have some statues which are close to the overall design of Kong, capturing the ferocity, or we have other works which are based off of the CGI skeleton structure of Kong and recreated thereafter. For Hiya, I'm not sure exactly how they went about for their sculpting of Kong, whether or not they did have access to the CGI model or if they went based off of stills from the movie. But what I will say is that overall you do get the feeling of Kong here. I'm not here to comment on the accuracy, I'm here to comment on how good it looks. So in terms of accuracy though, if that is what you're looking for, would I say it's accurate 1-to-1? No. Doesn't seem like there's a single Kong product that's going to be on the market that does capture it that well, but nevertheless, I mean, it is very clear that we are getting a 2021 Kong product. In terms of the sculpt and the paint, is the dry brushing heavy-handed in any way, shape, or form? No, however, it doesn't necessarily appear to be as brown as the prototype pictures initially showed. But otherwise, I think it's really solid. The teeth are painted really, really nicely. The scarring on the chest looks rather nice. It is actually rather pink in comparison. The only real issue that's going to come about with the figure is going to be when it comes to the alternate head parts, because he does have a nice intense brow where it's clear that he is looking to engage in some sort of fighting stance or engage in an enemy like he's fighting, and the eyes are, the pupils anyway, are going to be tucked a little far up, and it's difficult to see in a straight on shot. Otherwise, I mean, those monkey cheeks are looking good. So overall, Kong looks solid. For Kong's articulation, he's going to be taking a basic humanoid form, obviously. With that being said, if you need to have all of the give to the joints, let's say, or you sometimes struggle with just reaching that pose, unfortunately, there are going to be a couple of drawbacks on Kong. We're going to break that down for you really well, where maybe the posing and the engineering aren't just quite there. However, if you just like to pick up your figure and put him into some fun poses, then this figure is going to be just fine. So what exactly am I talking about? Well, Kong's going to have different head parts, so when we take a look at the accessories, you're going to see them. But just so this way you're able to see how you can swap them about, he is going to have a double axis or a barbell style ball joint for the neck. So we're going to have a ball joint where it plugs into the neck and a ball joint where it plugs into the head. So we're going to have 2 points of movement for the neck. So let me go ahead and pop the head back on, which is pretty easy to do. The first couple times were difficult, but after that, it was fine. So Kong can look up about that far, look down about that far. You can see that point moving there. We can sort of rock from side to side, which is cool, and we can spin the head around to the point where his chin doesn't collide in with his body. For the shoulders, this is going to be one of the points where, keep in mind, he does have the axe, and he's raising it over his head, putting 2 hands on it. Keep that in mind. So we do have pegs that plug into the body right here. That creates the swivel that allows you to spin Kong's arms around like so. So we get pretty solid movement. Because of the fur, we're going to have some points colliding in with each other, which is fine. But then we're going to have hinges which allow you to raise and lower Kong's arms. depending on where that swivel is going to be, that hinge is going to change, which allows you to do a whole bunch of funky things. Now, something that some manufacturers, because of tooling costs, because of character design, something, for whatever the reason may be, when it comes to crossing the arms over, they sometimes miss one point with the chest. Now, in some other lines, they have swappable chest parts, but here for Kong, unfortunately, this part is going to come into play. So we have this little spike, if you will, here. There is a sculpt here which does accommodate for Kong sort of crossing his arms up over this way. So we do get a little bit of assistance if we're looking to really have Kong cross his arms up over this way. Again, remember, two-handed axe holds. So we can kind of do it at an angle, right? Well, if you're looking to have Kong cross his arms over sort of in a neutral way, right? Like let's say he's trying to block and cross his forearms over. You can't exactly do that. So if you're looking to have something like that happen, because of that movement, I'm pushing really hard there. That's about as much as we're going to be able to get. So that's something to keep in mind. It's not necessarily a fault per se, but if you need ease of posing, that is not going to be the case there because of those lips. But nevertheless, it's fine. It's just going above and beyond. Dedicated bicep swivel, which is good. Moves with ease. Double hinge elbows. Nice. Ball jointed wrists, which we do have swappable hand parts. How easy it is to swap? I would say very. You can see the ball joint there. Double axis barbell style, just like the neck. Keep in mind that he is hairy, so we are going to have many, many tufts of fur. Sharp. Mind your fingers. Ab crunch. So for this one, it feels like it's just going to be a ball joint, which is fine. So we're going to bend down about that far, it looks like. Back about that far. And we're going to get full twist and turning and spinning from side to side so we can rock. So it seems like we're able to do really great on everything except for bending down and going back. Now, if you really, really push it, we can get some movement, but as you can see, Kong just kind of wants to naturally reset back. So I think that's a matter of limitations of the sculpt, so I don't want to encourage you to scratch anything. Keep that in mind. For the hips, we are able to clearly see that there are going to be ball joints where they plug into the thigh. Now, it doesn't seem like there's a pull-down system there, so if you think that you're going to be able to do that, don't. You might break your figure. So you can kick about that far forward. He has a sculpted booty. Nice monkey cheeks. And that far back. Kicking out to the side, he can kick about that far out. We have dedicated thigh swivels, which are good. So we can spin the leg around, and the ball joint sometimes helps out with moving there. We do have double hinge knees, which is good. And then ankles seem like double axis or barbell style ball joint. So ankles get some good movement there. No toe hinge. So if you were looking for that, it is not there. But we can get ankle rocker movement. So overall, Kong's movement is solid. If you like to pick up your figures, pose them, not a big deal. Is he over the top articulated? No, but he's engineered just fine. So if you do like your monkeys to move, you can get this Kong into some fun poses. Let me just go ahead and throw him, I don't know, in a pseudo superhero landing pose. Yeah, there we go. There we go. See, you can pose him just fine. Accessories. Kong comes with 3 alternate sets of hands, his axe, growling face, teeth gritting face, and the roaring face. All right, alternate head sculpts time. So here's going to be the gritting teeth face, the growling face. And then right after that, we're going to look at the roaring face. So as I did make mention at the top of the review in the first section, you can definitely see that the pupils are going to be tucked somewhat under the eyebrow. So that's something to keep in mind there. If you're going to go for photography, you're going to have to hit this guy at a little bit of a low angle in order to really see those eyeballs perfectly. But otherwise, it does capture the feel of this Kong rather nicely. For the axe, something that I did make mention in my unboxing, is it going to be perfectly pinpoint precise in terms of paint apps? No. However, it does look really, really nice, and they capture the overall feel of Godzilla when he's charging up really, really well. They actually put forth an effort here instead of just throwing blue paint on it. So, I mean, A for effort is exactly what we're looking for here. For the alternate hand parts, we are, by default, he's going to come with some splayed hands, but by accessories, he's going to come with fists, he's going to come with weapon-holding hands to hold his axe, and then he's going to come with knuckle-walking hands, so this way he can look like a typical ape or monkey. And with that, we've had some action shots thrown up already, so let's get to a 360 spin view. And here's the part where we kind of talk about, well, Kong could have come with, and this, and the other thing, and these 4 others, which I agree with. There are plenty of accessory options that are possible for Kong. An actual charge-up effect, a Mechagodzilla severed head, which we'll come back to that. And yeah, a whole bunch of other stuff. Here's the thing. It's $45-50. He's big. Oh, well, we'll look at that in a second. I mean, realistically speaking, for the price point, he comes with pretty much everything. And if you want to spend a few more bucks, you know, I got videos to help you out with support stands and effect parts. So yeah, buy those instead. All right, the size comparison. This is going to be a nice big Kong. So if you are looking for size, then congratulations. This one will definitely take up a good amount of space on your shelf. He fits well with the Hiya Godzilla action figure. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Here's what I'm going to say. The Hiya Godzilla was, when it hit, loved and received well by the action figure, the kaiju collecting community. Basically, that was the general consensus. What I would say, based on how I perceived the Hiya Godzilla versus how the community perceived the Hiya Godzilla, how I perceive the Hiya Kong, if I were to extrapolate that to the Godzilla collecting community, not necessarily the same level of love. However, this is still very good. I'm not going to say that it's to the exact same caliber, but if you're looking to add a nice affordable Kong to your shelf, sooner rather than later. Why? We don't know what the future holds for Hiya and making MonsterVerse product. We don't know of any possible reissues. And we know that once Godzilla sold out, price went bonkers. So if you're thinking about getting him now, get him now. He's pretty solid.
Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.